Hey, yo, with the deal, my people. You know this, the Don Tony Teflon Bar Tube, and this is the T&B Q&A Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 2 Home Awards Show. And if you're wondering why we do this award show like this is why we do it like this. You know, a lot of people do a lot of different reviews. We like to try to do the review. We do reviews on both of our channels, and we like to give it to you in a different way. You know what I mean? And that's why we do it like this, and that's why we try to give you the awards and this format. And I particularly like this format, and I think it's good. So I hope that you do too. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, the beautiful Bar.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me on. For anyone watching, this is our award show. Make sure to leave your suggestions. We've added something this week from somebody from last week, so feel free to leave anything. This is a new format. We're figuring it out, and hopefully you will like it. Spoilers for the books, by the way, if you're not a book reader.
Yeah, so if you want make an award and you want your award to be on the show, just put it down in the comment section. We'll take a look at the awards, and hopefully, if it's good enough, we will put it in next week's show. So our first award is favorite actor of this episode. Bar, who did you like the best? Who held it down the most to you?
Well, there wasn't anyone that really stood out, but I think that the best performance goes to the actor that plays Ramsay. I can't pronounce his name, sorry, but that guy is really good. I think he has a lot of tension when he's on screen. You're like afraid for anyone around him. What did you think, Tony?
Yes, I think that, as you said, that there weren't a lot of meaty scenes. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of play.
Slim pickings today.
You know, so I'm gonna go with Jaime Lannister. I really liked his interaction with the High Sparrow. I thought he did a good job. I don't know how many he's going to get this year, awards like that. That actor, he's up against a lot of people, but I think this weekend it goes to Jaime Lannister for the Don.
Brilliant. He did have a good performance.
Nice. So, let me real quick. Let me check the chat and see what the chat is saying. Who they think the best performance was. They are not saying anything about best performance right now. So if they say anything, we will take a look at the chat. So the next award goes to favorite scene. Bar, what was your favorite?
Can I just one chat? L Rider 422. Bar, we can't see your beautiful face. First of all, thank you. And second, I'm having some camera problems. Hopefully this is okay, but you know, from last week I feel so like not self-conscious and free to do this, and I feel like the conversation is like way more organic and I'm just having a lot of fun, so hopefully you don't mind. And now, where are we? Favorite scene?
Favorite scene. So the chat, it looks like we have a couple of people who said their favorite actor was Melisandre this season.
Yeah,
I mean, this episode, yeah. So we are up to favorite scene. So chat, you can answer this question too. What was your favorite scene of this episode? Bar.
Mine was the resurrection. I think everyone loved this one the most. It was just very nicely done. I like the pacing. I enjoyed it so much. Tony?
I thought the scene was good, but I'm going to have to go with Jaime and the High Sparrow. I liked the interaction between both of them. I really did. I thought that scene, that's a side of Jaime we haven't really gotten to see since he was taken captured. You know, even since he's been back, that confidence that he did exude for a little bit until he's seen what he was up against was a side that we haven't really seen. Don't really, you know, and you know, the Jaime Lannister in the books in the show, they portrayed a little bit differently, but that Jaime Lannister was a little bit more bookish because he's a little bit more cocky, and we've seen a little bit of his cockiness coming back there.
Well, I have a few issues with that scene. I think they're all really good actors, but my problem is that Jaime is acting like the old Jaime before he went on that journey with Brienne and became different. And I feel like everything he does right now is the old Jaime from the books, but not the current Jaime from the books. And that's my problem with that scene.
Well, I don't think that, I mean, they should have probably made him make that that arc. They're not showing any arc here for the Jamie Lannister character. There really isn't
Yeah.
anything for him. I don't think they know really what to do with this guy, in all honesty. But I'm saying, as for two actors in the scene, when we're looking at the show, for them two, I thought that scene worked well with them to work in it. But I do agree with you saying that Jamie Lannister, from what they're showing him, is an arc and everything else. No, I think that, I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't know if they know what's going on. I think they may not know what's going on with them. You know what I mean? It's the Jamie Lannister character. They're not progressing him and giving him what he's supposed to have in the book. I think they're doing that to a lot of characters in the show by rushing through it. That we're losing a lot of story. And I tell people all the time that the thing that makes this book series great is the actual story. It's not the big things, not the red wedding and everything else. It's the things that lead up to the red wedding. It's the things you don't see coming. It's the actual story, and we're losing that with the show by the show going so fast, and that's the problem I have with it. But that is my favorite scene, is Jamie Lannister in the High Sparrow. And the chat, what are they saying their favorite scene is in there? I seen someone said Ghost in there. I've seen that go up in there, but that's all I've seen right now. It's going by too fast. So our next,
the guy bashing Cersei was hilarious. Yes, Polski.
that was a hilarious scene. That was a good scene. I thought when I first seen it, I didn't even know it was King's Landing. I was like, that King's Landing. I was like, oh yes, it is King's Landing. All right, but for a second, I did not know that. So the next award is Best Gore, the goriest moment for you, Bar.
I have to give it to Sir Robert Strong killing that taunter. It was just so quick.
It was fast. It was fast, and it was merciless, and I loved that. I loved it. See, that could be one of my favorite scenes. It really was up there.
It was almost comical how he just, okay, I want you dead. Bye-bye.
That's it. Just get out of here. And I like the way I always thought. I said that the mountain was going to be a destructive force this season. I know people thought that he was just going to be anything, you know what I mean? But there's no doubt about it that he is destructive. I like the way they're showing it, especially when they show him run up on those guards and people wondering why, oh, he didn't kill Cersei, didn't have him kill those men. Those are her men. It makes no sense for her to kill Lannister soldiers. That's only going to hurt her in the long run. She understands that. That's why she turned around. So since you took that, I'm going to go with 1-1, grabbing the Night's Watchman and smashing him like a rag doll. Two big ass motherfuckers smashing people this week.
By the way, about Sir Robert Strong, if you remember, there is a photo of like a sparrow lying in a pool of blood. I think that's what Robert Strong is going to do to Lancel. I think Lancel is going to be out next episode.
Next episode, you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's on the chopping block.
Oh, I definitely think he's got. I mean, what about when they show that scene where he's rip that dude's head off? You think that's the next episode too?
Which scene?
You know, the scene where they showed in the clip where he reaches down, he's got the mace to his head, and he's grabbing when the guy from the Faith of the Seven, he's grabbing his head and it's going to rip his head right off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, probably next episode, yes.
Well, you think I think people in the chat can amount and fight 1-1. I think we had to go ask Don Willie that. He is the epic battle man. But ask Don Willie. Tell him Tony Teflon and Don will go on with that, or anyone he wants with that. Good morning to you, Derek Person, saying good morning. Good morning to Peace Baby. Good morning to Mr. Buckeyes. Good morning to Lisa Keesing, Ray West, and everybody else. Liar, it's 422. And everybody else joining us. And Jerry the Steamboat Targaryen. And everybody else joining us up in the chat. So that is our favorite. That is our favorite gore. Seems like a lot of people have 1-1 for their favorite gore shot. And I have to agree with that. And Bar's pick too. So the next award we have is favorite quote. This is, I think it's really between two people here for me. But Bar, what is your favorite quote? And in the chat, please, what was your favorite quote of this episode?
Well, I mean, there are three really good ones. One from Tyrion. The second is everything Melisandre said. And the third is what I'm going to pick is from Euron. I am the storm brother, the first storm and the last, and you're in my way. How about you, Tony?
That was my pick. I agree with all of it. It either has to be that one or it has to be the Tyrion pick. I drink and I know things. But since that was used in the, in the trailer, I don't want to have to go with that. You know what I mean? But I really do like the I Am the Storm. But since you went with it, I gotta go with that too. The I Am the Storm one was just great. It was a really great call. I particularly myself that scene. I didn't love it. And the reason why I didn't love the scene between him and Bayla, I just he just popped up there, and it just seemed like there were two kids on a rickety bridge, and they were going to shake it back and forth and see who rocked each other off. That's what I thought about when it was there. I just didn't, and that's the only reason I didn't like it. I thought they could have played that out a little bit better. Or make the battle a little bit more dramatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or make
I
them.
agree. I thought it was like bigger, like way a much longer bridge. It'd be like so windy and stormy and like chaotic that like nobody would see anything from afar, but it felt smaller in the scene. But I get that they had to adapt it, and I like that scene. It could have been better for sure.
Yeah, and if you're gonna adapt and do it better, just change it up then. You know what I mean? So you have a smaller bridge, make the battle a little bit more epic. Make him cut the bridge, make him be at one side. I would have rather seen him be at one side and have Braylon Crafton caught in the middle and chop the bridge in half and drop him to his death and say the line. I would have rather seen that than him stab him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that'd be better.
That would have been more dramatic to me. You know what I mean? Like, your time is up, brother. Time to go to the gods. And then you drop him like that, something like that. Then him stab him and toss him over. And then right to the funeral right after that. And it's just, and Yara was in the room right there. Why can't she? It was just a little bit messed up for me. But that was definitely the best quote without a doubt. It seems like the chat agrees with that one, that would be it. So,
yes, Sam Parkman says, "Don't eat the help." That was a good one. When Tyrion was like, "I'm just the help. Don't eat the help."
That was really good. It says, Melisandre, please. I thought it was good because the show she has. Oh, he's talking about why Melisandre is good. Yes, I did like Melisandre. Now, the next one we have is best cinematography. So, it's hard because it's hard for me sometimes. I don't want to pick anything that's CGI. I try to look for all the natural shots, the most natural shots when I do this. So, what was your favorite most cinematography shot?
Well, there were like two. One is more scenic, the one of the Iron Islands, when Balon was in his funeral little boat. And it was nice, but I felt like there was much more attention to the resurrection scene. The little close-ups, the pacing, I felt like I liked that much more. How about you?
It's hard for me to say. I'm gonna go with Mira Reed sitting on a rock just to pan around out there, and I'm gonna hope that was really Iceland or whatever. It just looked beautiful. It's hard to compete with winter shots like that, grassy shots and anything like that. To me, it just looks so beautiful with the light and everything else. I just liked her sitting there and just looked nice there and peaceful for a second in a shot. I mean, Bran was out there sunbathing, snowbathing, laying out on the side with his hand on his head, legs crossed and everything, just chilling, no fear of the undead or anything. It just seemed like so nice. This seems so special.
It's like the quiet before the storm. I like it.
It definitely was, without a doubt. Yeah, the flashback scene, people are saying was good. They loved the resurrection scene. They thought that was good. People are going, it's only for this episode, people. Only this episode. This is what the awards show is for. Those are all definitely nice scenes. The flashback scene was nice. I love the flashback scene. I thought they nailed the flashback. I thought it was done very well.
Absolutely. Okay, next one is submitted by Thunderclap. Thank you. What would never happen in the books?
This is very easy for me. You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. Bruce Bolton getting killed by Ramsay in that manner would never, ever, and the Don means ever go down like that in the books. I cannot ever seeing that being possible, that Roose would put himself in a situation where he's going to announce the arrival of his newborn child would be announced, and then he would get stabbed right then. He would see that coming a mile away. And
Right.
I was asked by a subscriber who got mad that I said this and put it in the comment section. Well, how would you have done it better, Don? Well, I've never even told Bar can tell you right now, I never told her how it would change the scene. But I can tell you right now how it would change the scene, and Bar can tell you she may hate it. But this is how I would change it. And I'm going to take everything they have in the scene without making it all crazy and tell you how to make it different. Once the announcement comes about the baby, I would have had Roose hug Ramsey, say you're always my firstborn, and then say guard sees him. When the guard sees him, then I would have had Roose say, if you act like a wild dog, you're gonna get slaughtered in the back. And don't worry, I'll use your skin for new shoes for my baby. And then when the guards are about to, and then say something like, guards, take him away. And when the guards are about to take him away, have Ramsey laugh, and then flip the script on Roose, and then Roose would see that the guards are all working for him, and then have him kill Roose like that. I would have definitely done it like that. It would have then been more shocking, not just him having a dagger, walking into a room with a dagger on his back like he's Braun that he never had before. This would never go down like that.
Yeah. And just when you were talking, I'm thinking like, what would Roose do if Waldo's in labor? He would get people to, as soon as she starts to be in labor, to go and lock up Ramsey immediately. And what you describe would be a much more powerful scene. Absolutely. Yeah, so I agree with you 100%. But what would never happen in the books, as far as I'm concerned, is what's going on with Jamie's arc right now. It's just, he's just not who he's supposed to be. And I'm just worried that at some point they're going to just have a flip and he's going to be who he is in the books, but it's going to be too quick and illogical.
I agree. It's like I said, I don't think they know what they're doing with him. I think they're lost with him right now. I don't know if they realize he has an arc, because they're not. It's hard, when you take away the whole, the reason why he's going to siege River Run, and it seems like they're changing it up, making him more down with Cersei. It just seems that they're changing. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I just don't know. I don't know their plan. Hopefully they have a plan. I don't see it, and it's not what it was in the books at all. And maybe that's why I can't see it, but I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he can't stand Cersei, and he just wants to get away. So everything he does just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and in the show, he loves Cersei even more.
Yeah.
And so it's weird. It's weird, and that's, like I said, it's so much off the book that it's hard for me to say it. But it's definitely not Jamie that I've been shown, at all. Yeah. We got Kolsky here, says Roose's actor says maybe Bolton's have something to do with the White Walkers. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, boy. But no, they don't have anything to do with the White Walkers, and they're not vampires either, homeboy. I can't see that at all. I think we're at the last award for the week.
Yeah, and now we can discuss what's been spoiled by the show when it comes to the books.
So go right ahead.
So
take it away.
We have John's resurrection that was spoiled. Probably that we don't need Shireen to burn for his resurrection, and when Stannis finds that out, he's going to go mental. Roose's death, Walda and baby Bolton dying, that Hodor used to talk, that Bran will leave the cave. And one question I have that I'm just wondering about King's Landing is, where the hell is Kevin? Where is he? He's supposed to be handling King's Landing, making it better, and have, Varys come in the end and say, you're too good for this city. Let's kill him, because I think he's going to die by the end of the season. So we need to start seeing him soon. What do you think, Tony?
Yes, I think we got Jon Snow. Just the fact that he's alive. All right, so that's number one spoiler. I obviously a lot of book readers have known this. A lot of show watchers have known this. This is something that I can't see anyone trying to take credit for. Knowing Jon Snow's coming back, I think everyone knew that. That's not hard to tell. So, but it does spoil that. I think the Tyrion Targaryen, it gives a little flames to the situation here. Not a spoiler for the books, but it does put a little flame, stoke the fire for that
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion could be a Targaryen. And we also get some more proof of R plus L equals J with the
Right.
shots that we've seen in there with Leon and everything else. So I definitely think that for the books, we definitely see that all those things will be spoiled in this show, this season. But in this episode specifically, we have a lot of hints towards that. But the definitely
Yes.
spoiler is Jon Snow is back alive, which
Yes.
I thought would be a little bit more, you know, I'm not gonna say CGI or I, I just thought it would be a little bit more spectacular than it actually was of him taking a deep breath. It did look real world. I actually thought when she was touching him, they were gonna show like his wounds like disappearing. When they kept showing them, I thought they were going to be like Wolverine him or something like that. I understand maybe it's, oh, we're going to make it more real world. He just wakes up and gasps and blah, blah, but it just didn't have the effect to me that I was looking for that I think it will have in the books. I thought maybe, some fire out of her mouth or something, anything more. I thought maybe, I would have did if it was just like, I would have just had if you would have just changed the color of Ghost eyes, have Ghost eyes, gray the whole time and just have his eyes, have him blink and then have his eyes turn red and then have John Wood. That subtleness would have been a little bit better for me. If we would have just had that.
All right. I actually felt like I like that they kept it simple when I'm thinking about House of Me and Barrick Dondarrion. The wounds are kept as well as with Lady Stoneheart. It doesn't change, and it's not as complicated as we're making it out to be, I think. That we're talking about only a life can pay for life. Maybe Melisandre will say it on the next episode to John, and then they'll burn Alice to Thorne. But I like that there's a message here that it might look simple, but just like glamour, it's harder than it seems. I think that once you rewatch that scene, then you discover a bit more depth. And I think that everyone who watched it without seeing the subtitles immediately, it just didn't have the same impact. I think watching it for the first time, understanding everything she says was just amazing. I got the chills.
Yeah, when I watched your video on what she said, it was much better knowing what she said. But I just think it could be an inconsistency of the showrunners. When you have Melisandre take poison and you see the necklace glow when she does it. When you have her with Gendry dropping leeches dropping leeches in the fire and you see the necklace glow. When you have her take off the glamour and you see the necklace glow. For it not to glow at all or anything, to me it just seems like an inconsistent thing of the show. And even if it just flickered for a second, to show that she tried, there is no proof that she is the reason why Jon Snow is back alive right now, and I think maybe that's what they want to know, but there is no proof that she is the reason that Jon Snow came back at all. There's no proof whatsoever in it, and Thoros Amir, when he did it to Derek Brundarian, Derek popped right up. He jumped on his chest with both hands, like he was, like he was pushing on his chest. And he popped right up before the pound said 3 words. Everybody walked out the room with John. Everyone stared and walked out before he got, and then after he got up.
Yeah, but I think we have to remember that the longer you are dead, the harder it is to bring you back, and the less of yourself you have as well. So he was in that wolf. How long has it been? No, it's just been a few hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been like over a day or something.
Nope.
It's just been a few hours. Yeah, but with Barrick, I think that as soon as he died, Thoros of Mir came and revived him. So maybe that could be explained by that. But yeah, I understand your shortcomings with this scene. Ghost isn't done that well, I have to say. And with Mel, the ruby is a problem. It's an inconsistency. And something that I really love it when she does in the books and she just doesn't do on the show is when she says something and everybody hears a different thing. And you can see that she's magical. Everything about her presence is magical, and you don't really see that on the show.
Exactly. It does. It just doesn't explain it away. I don't know. I would. I don't. I would have just liked it. Like, say she's doing it right. She's doing this, but even if she was in there alone or just her and Dabo, she didn't need to have. Or while she was performing it, people walked away. Or why? Because it didn't seem like it was working. And maybe if just like, yeah, while she was doing it, you got like you got a flash of her older self, like it drew something from her, and the glamour was removed for a split second while she was trying to, just something like that. I think would have just gave it. I understand why the real world aspect of it, and I like that. But I would just like, me personally, for all the super, I like magic and I like to see it. I really do. That's why I watch fantasy. I'm not afraid of it. I don't get scared away from it. I love it. I like lightning bolts. I like everything. You know what I mean? So I would just like to see a little bit more. It's like I would have rather seen Stannis' sword glow like it was supposed to. I like things like that. And I understand that maybe the showrunners think, hey, a lot of people are going to stop watching it if you do things like that. But me personally, I like things like that.
Yeah. And for everyone watching, if you like fantasy, I'm reading a spectacular book. It just might make it to my #1 for 2016. It's by Brandon Sanderson, and it's called Warbreaker. The world building is probably the best I've ever seen. And if you like fantasy, this is like one of the best. And I'm not even done with it.
Nice. Barb reads all those books, so definitely check that. I'm trying to get her to review a book that I like personally. Hopefully she can get it and review it, and hopefully
it's added to the list.
Tells you all about it. We flew right through all these awards very fast and stuff like that. So if there's a Q&A, we have the Q&A people. We could take a couple of questions if you would like to, just for a little bit, since we did this really fast. One question is, Bar, who wrote that book that you just mentioned?
Brandon Sanderson.
Nice. Brandon Sanderson. The one, does this, people ask, does this confirm Azor Ahai is Jon Snow to you?
I wouldn't say that. No, it doesn't. I mean, for me, he is Azor Ahai, but it doesn't confirm it as far as I'm concerned. Maybe when it comes to the next episode, we're going to get a confirmation that he is Rhaegar and Lyanna's son. And by that, the show watchers are going to understand that he is very significant, and his coming back is very important.
Yeah, people want to know, can Stannis be the gift for Ramsay? I don't think so. What about you?
No.
Who do you think the gift is?
To get a gift in this episode that we're talking about?
Yes, this upcoming episode, it says Ramsay gets a gift. I think the Umbers come to see him. So I think it's pretty obvious that the gift is Rickon. I think that's why people say maybe it's Stannis. Stannis is dead. That's no gift. Some people think it could be they caught Theon, but I don't think so. I think the gift is Rickon. And then you hear the clip earlier from the show. You hear Ramsay say, "You like to play games, little man." I think it's, when you put those things together, it's just pretty obvious that it's Rickon. If it's not Rickon, it'd be a shock to me.
I'm not so sure. I don't think Rickon will play any significant role on the show, just because of one of my subscribers. I don't know if you've heard this, but Shaggy Dog is Rickon's direwolf, and a commenter said something about a Shaggy Dog story that is basically a story that leads nowhere. So I'm not sure if Rickon will have just any significance.
If Ramsay has him, his significance could be he's going to get killed, and that's it. He's just dead, and he doesn't have. A lot of people think he's going to be, the next Lord of Winterfell, and He could just get caught by Ramsay and get killed this quick. Next episode, boom, boom, in and out. And that
Yeah,
could be
he's
his
not
shaggy
going
daughter.
to be the heir to Winterfell by the end. That's for sure.
Do you think the showrunners can make 2 good episodes in a row? From Jerry to Steve-O Targaryen. Can they pull that off?
That is yet to be determined. We'll have to see.
Yes, the jury is still out on that one. I have to say, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, do you think Euron will have some Victorian roles in this show?
No, I think that Yara could have some Victorian roles. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's her whole plot is going to be the Victorian thing. This King's Moot thing, I don't like the way it's coming about, the way they did it. You know what I mean? It's like they just, all right, we're gonna have a King's Moot. It's not supposed to be like that, you know. It's just not supposed to be. King's Moot is something that happens every year or every time a king dies. That's King's Moot hasn't happened in centuries, you know. And I think that they messed up a part to play that up to let you know this is a rare occurrence to have a King's Moot, you know, and a big thing in the Iron Islands to have this King's Moot that all these people are going to gather and get around for this. I think that this, by having this guy that they didn't even make clear was a Dampere, I don't even know if he is, just say, you know, sarcastically, maybe you'll be the next woman, or maybe you won't. You know, I just didn't like the way they put that out there.
Well, all I'm hoping for is that we'll see Dragonbinder, and I want to hear it, I want to see it, and I have really high hopes for that. I hope they don't spoil it.
Do you think Theon's going to make it to the Iron Islands?
Yes, I mean, we've seen photos of him filming them. He might go to Winterfell for a while, but he has to make it to the Iron Islands.
You think he makes it there by the King's Moot or after?
It's a good question. Because he is the rightful heir, and if he makes it before, then Euron's gonna have him killed. So maybe after, maybe during, because I think he was in the filming for a really big scene that could be the King's Moot. So he could be there. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it has to be. It has to be after, because in the books, Euron wins the moot. He wins the moot and becomes king. Theon's nowhere around. So if Theon is going to play a role in the books in that, it would have to come after that. So I can't see them rushing it unless when he gets back to the Iron Islands, Euron's going to have him killed, and it's not going to matter that Theon's there. And they're going to do that right there, you know. So whether that happens or not, I'm not sure, but that's the only way I could see it working. People asking why this is so early. This is early because I only have to work Thursdays, Friday, and Saturdays. I work 3 days a week, 12-hour days. And bar from the time difference, this is what time works for her. I don't know. What time is it over there for you, Bar?
It's almost 4.
Yeah, it's 4. See, so it works here for us. That's why it's this early in the morning while we are doing this. People ask, Bar answered why you cannot see her earlier in the episode, so you can go back and watch it and just tell you that exactly what's going on. And she says because creepy guys is the reason why. All right? No, not at all. Not at all. Why would Ash or Yara go to Volantis? What do you think would be the reason? I think it would be the exact same reason why. I mean, it's 2 reasons. I think me personally, you know what? Bar, take it away. Why do you think she's going to go there to Volantis?
Well, first, it's on the way to Dany anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just a stop, and she could be, I don't know, maybe she's trying to get more ships.
I think they messed up Volantis with where Dany is at. I think that's what they mean in the question. Maybe.
Okay.
It goes 2 ways. I think that either the King's Moot happens and she leaves on her own and she says, you know what, I'm going to go find a woman and I'm going to go find someone that can help me take the Iron Islands back, and she goes, or she gets sent there by Victorion with the horn. By Euron with the horn. I'd rather see her with the horn. and she goes there for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely one. I want to give a shout out to Meister Payne. He does reviews on his channel with Claire, and very thematic. They go really in depth. I like the reviews, so check that out.
Yes, please do check out their reviews. It's a different type of review. If you really like just to sit down and listen to a review and to get deep into that review, and not too long but not too short, they do a really good job of doing that, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Will we see Cal Jacko in the show?
I think he died on the show, but it's going to be just a different Cal. I think we've seen him already.
Yeah, I think
the one that said to Danny, "The Queen of Nothing."
Yeah, was that Jacko, or was the guy that Khal Drogo killed was Jacko, right?
Yeah.
That's who, when he fights, that was Jacko in the show. And so yeah, he's already out. But yeah, they just change the characters around and stuff like that. So what are you looking forward to? Are we seeing a little Tower of Joy? Did you see? I'm sure you've seen the flash for the next episode. What's going on there? It looks like the Tower of Joy is going to happen. Are you happy? You think it's going to be done right or what?
Yeah, it's very exciting. And we might get to see Bran eventually in this episode with the Night's King, which should be fun.
Yeah, you think it comes right here at the Night's King?
I don't know how long they can stretch it, because it's one after the other with the visions. So I don't know why they're stretching it.
And how many of these visions you think we're gonna get? I mean, it seemed like, how many more can there be? You know what I mean? We got the early one. We're gonna get again. We got to get the reason why Hodor is Hodor. We're never gonna get that from this. We're gonna get the Tower of Joy. We're gonna get the Night's King with 5 visions, and then that's it, maybe.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of his part. I think that's all we're gonna. I think maybe he gets those visions, and I think as soon as he's done with his last vision, I think that they get attacked by the Night's King. The tree where they're at. I think that's how it's gonna roll. Me
All
personally.
right.
Wow, hiking through with Stephanie. Hello, she had just made it.
Hi, Stephanie.
And I am trying to see if there's any more questions. Anything else happening next episode? I do think they're gonna show the inside the Tower of Joy. Me personally, I don't see any other reason to not show it. If they just show the fight, doesn't satisfy me. That fight doesn't mean anything in the big scheme of the books. Only thing that matters is the reason why they're fighting. And if they don't, and the reason why they're fighting is what's inside the tower. And if they don't show that, then I think it's just as bad as the Walking Dead Negan scene of not them showing who this guy killed and wait until next thing. You have to show that.
Yeah, I don't watch The Walking Dead, but it will be really disappointing if we don't see Lyanna in her birthing bed. Absolutely.
Yeah, I need to see. I want to hear it. I want to hear her words to Ned. I need it all. I want to see it, without a doubt. What about the pink letter? You think we're going to get that now?
Well, we've seen the Winterfell teaser. I think that's the pink letter. I don't know if it's a diversion tactic from Ramsay, because he's talking about attacking Castle Black, but then he's kind of like luring Jon to go south. So maybe he'll try to retrieve Sansa by going north and getting everybody away from.
Mm-hmm. You think they're gonna show? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think they're gonna have Dawn in the show. Or if they do have it, it's not gonna be there. They've not had any other special sword. So I don't see no reason for them to start right now. What about you? You think you're gonna have Dawn in the show?
I really hope so, but nobody's even mentioned it once. So they might just make Longclaw into Dawn, I think. Or if Sam goes to his house and he might ask for a Valyrian steel sword, and they could just give Dawn to his family, to House Starley. And then that's how Jon will get it. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Hopefully they do something with it. It's not hard to me to spray paint the sword white. That's all you would have to do. You know,
They don't.
that's all you
They don't
gotta
even
do.
have the Valyrian color on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's all white.
That's all you gotta do, though. It's not like you were asking for, like, put some fucking white paint on the sword and show it. That's all the fans want, and maybe some gold crystals cracks in it, you know, purple cracks in it, some crackle paint, and put some purple, and that's all you gotta do for us. We'd be happy.
Right.
You know, do you think another King's Guardsman at the Tower of Joy is wielding the dual weapons? I know it should be another one, but I think that is Arthur Dane. Do you think Mira could get Dark Sister? That's a question.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't see the connection. What do you think?
Blood Raven has it. I guess the connection is Blood Raven has it. It was the last one with the sword. It's made for a woman. We know the sword is definitely made for a woman. It's a slender sword, and she's up there with him. And
It's interesting that you say that, because Leaf said he's going to need your help when he gets out there, so he could give it to her for protection.
You would
if
think
they
that
do go out.
It's a Valyrian steel sword. It kills White Walkers, you know. So you would think that she would have to have it for a while. You know, I think that eventually that sword gets to Arya. She's the Dark Sister, and I think it gets to her eventually. But I think right now, Mira, yeah, she may have it, even though she's a spear girl. But I never heard of any Valyrian steel spears out there. You know, she should have one for House Reed. That would be great.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that is the questions we have asked. We are done with our things. We are done with our awards here for the week, and we have taken our questions for the Q&A. We'll do this again next week. We'll be on Bar's channel, so you could definitely find us there on Bar too, and then next week after that back to mine. Also, you can take a look at the cards I have here, and you can click to check out Bar's channel and all the other TNB Q&A shows we have done. We'll take this one last question from Andrew H, because I just seen it pop up here. What do you think of Bran's messing up Hodor, trying to warg him through time in the flashback? And that is the reason why Hodor says Hodor. I think that's what he wants to say. So what do you think of that, Bar?
That's interesting. That's really interesting, because we've seen that Bran does have an impact on the past. I don't know. I've seen no evidence for this particular thing to make him the way he is, but I can say that Bran knows of this special place inside of Hodor's mind that he goes and he hides in, and I think that Bran could someday tap into that place and extract that information from Hodor, what happened and why he keeps saying Hodor. And it also shows that he does have the ability to control giants. I think that's the significance of this. What do you think?
I think when you see Bran take over Hodor, the most important thing to see is that Hodor is afraid. He's afraid of Bran when he's in there. He's cowering in his own mind in the corner, shaking like a leaf, right? When he's back there. So it's not a pleasant thing to do that to somebody. That no one likes that, you know what I mean? So it's not something that's good that the children are doing here, teaching him to do. I think people should maybe keep that in mind while thinking about this. And also that, you know, whispers during dreams are whisperings of the great other. That being said, I think that it's a good reason. I think if it happened that way, it would be perfect. I would love for it to happen that way. But the leak that was dropped earlier seems to be on. I think it's stupid, but I think that's going to be the reason why they do it in the show, what the leak said. But I think that is a great reason. That would be a much better reason. And it would, or maybe if they did that, it would teach Bran, hey, you can't be going in people's heads like that. You know, messing with I'm the reason he does. I fuck with this dude's head. I'm so sorry. And, you know, it would just be a better development way. I wish it was like that.
That's really interesting. I don't know if he can tap into somebody's mind like in the past. He can look. I don't know if he can tap specifically, but that's a really interesting idea.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. So that was a great question. We're going to end it on that question. So we'll be back next week, as I said, on Bar's channel. Bar, please tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on BarTube. I also have a smaller channel called Bar Pop for my Funkos and all my collectibles and all the stuff I keep shopping for that I have no reason to keep shopping for, but I love it. For having me, Tony, and thank you for everyone who tuned in. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Tony's channel, and we'll see you next week on my channel.
Yes, and please give this video a thumbs up. It ain't so hard to do, people. Let's just try to get some thumbs up on these videos. We got 110 viewers at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much for just popping in here and spending your quick 60 minutes with Tony Teflon and BarTube. So, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace! And stay sexy.